Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Start of a new week because it's Tuesday and we start immediately with a bomba news. Max Allegri has been seen offered by Juventus a new role as a sporting director from 23-24. But especially, that means that move is leaving the bench of Juve available for a new coach. We will speak about that. Why did I say start of a new week? Because it's Tuesday and not Monday. Well, yesterday was the 1st of May. Yesterday was Labor Day, a bank holiday, and that's why today we have no front pages. We have no articles written inside the official Italian sporting pages, Gazzetta dello Sport, Corriere dello Sport. So we have to speak about the articles that we saw online and what was reported or translated. We'll speak about Federico Chiesa and Chiesa Vlahovic, because apparently a journalist said that they were frustrated at Juventus and they want to leave. We'll speak about what happened yesterday to Matthias Soulé online, but especially the one on the thumbnail, the one I started the news with, or the video with, Max Allegri. Is it possible that from next season he will receive a new role? Put a maximum of like if you didn't yet. Subscribe to the channel so that we go towards the 25,000 Juventini. We start. If I told you that the Italian papers were not working on Labor Day, well, yesterday someone was working. Jack Gallagher. Who is Jack Gallagher? Well, honestly, personally, I don't know him, but apparently, reading a bit, he's working for 90 Minutes. That is an online sporting site that is speaking about football in general. All the leagues, all the clubs, and so on and so on. Yesterday, he tweeted out of nowhere, starting with an alarm emoji, understand that Juventus are willing to offer Max Allegri the role as director of football at the club. And then a second sentence that is really important: such a move would leave the managerial post open. Why am I saying that second one is super important? Because of the reaction of the Tifosi. Because that news from Jack Gallagher has been reported by all the translation sites and also translated, this time, and it's funny, this time not from Italian to English, but from English to Italian, by all the other accounts, and the Tifosi were starting to dream. Not really to see Max Allegri in that director of football, sporting director, but more to leave the bench free, because we know it at the moment. Tifosi, a majority, they want the head of Max. They want to see him dismissed of the club, of him resigning from the club yesterday more than tomorrow. Well, let's put it clear and straight. Max Allegri will remain the coach of Juventus until at least the end of the season. Then, next season, we will see. New scenarios will be open, and Jack Gallagher is not speaking about now, but he's speaking about the future. Who is, at the moment, the director of football at Juventus? We are speaking about sporting director. It is Cherubini, Federico Cherubini, but unfortunately he is, due to the sporting justice, permanently banned for 16 months. So he's still at the club, he can go and watch games, he can travel with the team, but he can't use all his job possibilities to really work on Mercato and so on. And that's why Juventus is looking for a new sporting director. We are speaking about a lot of names: Giuntoli, Rossi, Berta from Atletico Madrid, even the internal options with Tognozzi and Manna. We are speaking about a lot of different names to come at Juventus as a sporting director. But now, since yesterday, apparently in that list there is also the name of Max Allegri. Is it possible or not? Well, the reasoning of a lot of Tifosi is, well, if we can't dismiss him because he costs us a lot of money, let's move him from that coaching spot to another managerial role that makes sure that he's leaving the bench for free, because our dream is to see a new coach there. Zidane, Nagelsmann, De Zerbi, Italiano, Gasperini, whoever you want, but we want someone else on the bench. Well, first of all, we have to try to think logically, using our brain. Is it really possible? Yes or no? Max Allegri is earning more or less 7 million net plus 2 million of bonus at Juventus, which is high, one of the most paid coaches in Italy, if not the most paid coach in Italy. That's really a lot. You know that there is a big difference, a big gap between all the sporting directors, their earnings, and the one of the players and the coach, because by far they are absolutely not earning as much as a coach. I went back in history trying to understand how much they are earning. It's not that easy to find their salary, but for example, Cherubini some sources are saying that he's earning between the 2 million and 2.5 million at Juventus. That is quite high, especially if we are looking at one of our targets, Giuntoli from Napoli, that is earning 1 million for his role as sporting director. If you are looking back in time, Fabio Paratici was earning nearly 3 million at Juventus, Giuseppe Marotta when he was at Juve 2.6, and then you see all the other ones back then, pre-Covid. Ausilio from Inter between 1 and 1.5. We're speaking about Inter, Ausilio between 1 and 1.5 back then. Iglitare from Lazio 350k back then. Giuntoli 600k. Through the years he increased his salary, reaching 1 million, and you have all the list of a lot of sporting directors. So there is a big gap between coach and sporting director, between what Juventus could potentially offer for a new sporting director and Max Allegri. If you're thinking that we go with Giuntoli, of course he will ask for an increase from 1, maybe doubling it to 2. Can you imagine Max Allegri that is now earning 7 plus 2 for 2 years of contract? So we are speaking about, sure, without bonus, about 14 million net, saying, okay, I reduce my salary going in a sporting director role, earning, I don't know, 2 million, 1 plus 1, or 2 plus 2, 4 million. That's leaving 10 million out for a new role where he has, at the moment, no experience. So let's try to think what is possible and why that news could be potentially true. Max Allegri is someone, you like him or not, that was able, with maturity, to lead a group in a super difficult moment. And that has been appreciated by John Elkann, by Gianluca Ferrero, by all the people inside Juventus. Even if we're speaking about some discussions with the players, Paredes, Vlahovic, Chiesa, and so on, he has shown that he's someone with large shoulders, being able to keep the ship on sea and not let the ship sink. And that has been really appreciated. But that's it. Because he never did really mercato as a real first person. We know it historically at Juventus, the coach are not even involved. For the first years now, Max Allegri has been involved in the mercato, of course without a lot of money, with creative solutions, if possible, for free players on loan like Paredes, Pogba coming back, low transfers like Kostic, and the big investment Bremer, because first of all you had to sell De Ligt. Well, I don't understand personally, and this is why I think I'm not sure about that news if it's true or not, but I'm thinking, how is it possible that a coach like Allegri would remain sporting director at Juventus with the same salary? Because that would be incredible, a big increase for that role of sporting director, but also going towards a 2 million. If you know that Giuntoli is earning 1 million, why would you give 2 million to Max Allegri without any experience in that role? So for me, that news at the moment, except of miracles, except of really a gesture of Max saying, you know, I don't care about money, I have enough money and I built enough money, saved enough money in my career. Let's go back to the roots, starting a new challenge. I accept 1 million euro as new sporting director, and I can bring my experience of Juve, because you like it or not, 7 years, 7 seasons at Juve, what I know from Juve, and I can lead the guys more. Not really on mercato side, but really especially in terms of guidelines, in terms of how you manage and so on and so on. Why not? But at the moment, I really think that it's really far. So who are on that list? Giuntoli from Napoli, but we know that he has a contract for until 2024, so 1 more year. De Laurentiis would not even say no against it, but he will ask some money. So that means that Juventus needs to pay that clause of Giuntoli before him going to Juve. Sassuolo, Rossi, that is a really great one on the list of Juve. Then you have the internal solution with Manna. Manna, that is a young responsible for the next gen team. He could potentially be there. He knows the affection and the trust of Cherubini with Manna, but also Tognozzi, another one that is at the moment chief scouting manager, the one that brought us a lot of players like Barrenechea, Zakaria, Soule, but also players like Huijsen, one of the best prospect in terms of central defenders. Well, Tognozzi could see a internal promotion. So these are the list of the possible next one. I would not put at the moment Max Allegri there. I know that you will probably be sad, that you will be furious, Beppe. Why are you telling us these kind of things? Anyway, we go to the next news about Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic. Yesterday, Adriano Del Monte was working, and I already heard about Adriano Del Monte. He said, following reported that Dusan Vlahovic and Di Maria issues, source close to Chiesa have revealed to me a disconnection between him and the club, also due to the coach. Superstar Federico Chiesa regularly played out of position, now uncertain about future. Frustrated for Federico, Juve remain committed to Allegri project. So, he's speaking about the fact that Federico Chiesa is frustrated, is angry. He's not happy. He's not happy about the position that he receives on the field. He's not happy because of things are going, and he's thinking about leaving, especially if Max Allegri is staying. So is that news true or not? Well, more than the other ones, this one I potentially could believe. Why? Because we know, when we saw it with the behavior of Federico Chiesa on the field, that when Locatelli is not going on target, but he prefers to go with an assist to nobody, well, you saw the frustration of Federico Chiesa. It's not the first time this season that he expressed non-verbally the frustration on the field, screaming, showing with the hands that he is not happy. So Federico Chiesa is someone that when things are not going as good as he wants, well, he gets super angry, gets super frustrated. In a season where things are going really bad, of course players are thinking about their future. Of course they are not happy. Of course they are not accepting things, especially if they can use things like, I am playing out of position, I am playing too much up front, and here we're speaking about Dusan Vlahovic, and I'm totally isolated without support from my team because of the game we are playing, and so on and so on. Guys, make one thing sure. At the moment in Italy, we can't speak about Mercato because there are no sources. There is no money to invest on Mercato. Papers need to speak about something, and they are reporting frustration that happens every single year, every single day. In a football club, they are reporting it as something exclusive, new. Of course we are scared. We don't know if we will go in Champions League, in Europa League, in Conference League, if we will play in a European competition. We have no idea about the future. So that means that at the moment the management can't reassure the players about their close future, and players are thinking about it. Of course, we are a team that since so long is not scoring with their striker. The only striker that scored in the month of April was Arkadiusz Milik. On top of that, Moiskin, but it's the one that are not scoring that are frustrated and unhappy. So yes, I can understand that there are some frustration, but let's not make things bigger than they are. Let's finish this season properly. Let's try to do a month of May that is totally the opposite of what we did in the month of April, to start putting some smiles on the face of players, trying to lift a European competition, and trying then to speak with the players with some clarity about the future project of Juventus, about Max Allegri. Will he become sporting director? Will he leave the club? Will he remain the coach? And also the future. One thing is sure, Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic, they have a contract with Juventus. That means that Rabiot can leave, he can decide his own future, but not Federico Chiesa and Dusan Vlahovic. They need to speak first with the club. The club should be in agreement with them to put them on the market. So this kind of discussion and frustration in a difficult situation, in a difficult moment, they always happen. So I would try to be a bit more calmer. Yesterday, big news about Matthias Soulé, the player that unfortunately, watching the comments on Instagram, slipped and put a heart on a hashtag Allegri out. It was everywhere on social media. 1 or 2 hours later, when he saw it, well, he excused himself, saying, when watching the comments, unfortunately, I liked it, and it went viral. Is it true or not? I have no idea. This kind of thing happens. It happens to me when you are watching and when you are scrolling, it happens. It happened to Matthias Soulé. He said it was not right. Okay, this is one discussion. But how viral it became because a player liked an Allegri out. Then we go to the other news about Matthias Soulé. When he posted on Instagram the usual stuff, a game we lost, we were not happy, happy that I played. We saw so many hate messages. Here they are in Italian. I don't want to translate them, but really disgusting hate messages towards the Argentinian 20 years old player. Go back in Serie C, leave the club, and so many insults to a player. Look, Dusan Vlahovic, he decided to close his Instagram, and a lot of people were saying, but he has not the character, he's not strong enough, it is social media era, you need to accept it, and so on and so on. I have the opportunity and the luck to speak to players live, Locatelli, Chiesa, Fagioli, but also Ariana Caruso. I spoke with coaches like Joe Montemurro, Brambrilla from the Next Gen. I spoke with so many people inside Juve. And it's really a joy for me. Not really that I speak with them, but having the joy to bring them live on social media and that they answer the question of fans. This is the ultimate dream, being able live to speak with your idol, with the coach, to understand a bit how they are thinking and so on and so on. Guys, if we are continuing like that, because we are asking to play the young players, but from the moment that they are missing something, we go with a lot of insults. When we go and we insult the coach, when we go and we insult Morata, we wish that to his kids, guys, where are we going? What are we doing? We are actually punishing ourselves. That doesn't mean we can't criticize the miss of Sule, the bad season of Allegri. That doesn't mean that we can't ask someone to be replaced, to be dismissed, to give his own resignation. That doesn't mean all that, but we should pay attention how do we speak with us, because what are we creating? We are punishing ourselves, because in the next future, and some players are already starting to do it, they are taking distance from that social media world, just posting a picture and not reading anymore the comments, not commenting, not interacting with the fans. In the future, when we will ask them to go on the live, on my channel, on Twitch with you, they will say no. They don't want to be there just to be insulted. So we have to pay attention, because we are creating some really crazy paradox. We want them to go live, we want them to speak, we want to justify, we want to interact, but on the other way, we are insulting them. We want players and coaches to launch that next gen project. We want the young players to be in first team, and we are saying, yeah, but if they miss, at least it's a young player that can learn, because they are the future of you. But from the moment that they are missing, we are just throwing the stones at them. We are pissed off. We have to really pay attention to these kind of things, because that's not really correct. So if you're still here after a long video, think about it. Think really about it. Is it correct or not to act like that? Well, anyway, later we will do the press conference of Max Allegri. We'll try to understand how we will play against Lecce, because we didn't even speak about Juve Lecce of tomorrow. Hopefully this time, with a new month, the month of May, we can go back to a victory. We can go back with the 3 points that are now super important, super crucial to continue dreaming about that top 4 and who knows, achieving top 2 in Serie A. Grazie, forza, Juve.